good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the trade, we're gonna go ahead and get right to it. If you don't have a funded account, listen. Only for my not my new folks, all my more seasoned traders. That 90% still going on. It's going to go on to till the 30th. And also, if you did not, and listen, I have premium for a reason on TradingView because if you're going to be a pro, you gotta have the pro tools. Down below, they're giving 70% off on TradingView. Click the link down below. Go ahead and get your stuff, and let's go ahead and get right to the charts. All right. So, a couple of things that I noticed today. Um, we're just gonna struggle. We're just gonna struggle. Of course, it's light volume. Do I really want to start all my drawings over? Nah, let's not do that. Let's go ahead and move this out the way. Bye bye. Let's move this out the way. Bye bye. And this can go bye bye. All right, so I have, just my bearish and bullish for my opening range breakout. So we're going to go ahead and focus on that today. Actually, let me get rid of this bearish divergence because that was one that we kind of played around with yesterday. But the volume wasn't there when that bearish divergence kicked in. So it got real choppy really, really, really fast. So what I did notice is that we're struggling to get into that order block here. We did fill all that sell side liquidity, right? So I'm wondering, is it because of bad volume that we're doing this, or are they slowly just adding their position to try to liquidate the bulls back down this way? Now, what made this very interesting is that they took multiple stabs at our October line. If you don't remember, we talked about the October line. This is our October line right here, and then we had a deviation from the October line in August. So, oops, just moved that in the wrong spot. And I am very curious on this 4 times we tried to hit it 4 days in a row of breaking this level and getting under that 20,000, but the market was like, nope, we are not letting this fall. I want to see what happens here. If we go ahead and take a trend line and just draw it across the top here, you'll see we broke out of the micro trend that was bringing us down there. So very interesting, very curious on how the market's going to react to that. All right, let's go ahead and keep this going. Now, oil again, like I said, we're still in this consolidation phase, so let's come down to a smaller time frame and try to see if we can find something that makes sense. Nice little fair value gap that they attempted to fill. There's still a little bit left. This is liquidating a lot of bulls that was there in the 30-minute. In 10 minutes, if this thing actually closes below here, this could really put some pressure on the bulls on whether they're going to recover this or not, because they're taking out a lot of their lows just off of this 30-minute candle. So that's going to be very interesting. And then let's see. I'm going to extend this out. I probably did that on the 1 hour, but 30-minute fair value gap up here. So these are the two targets I think the bulls want to see if they can get up there. But you can kind of see the market is not allowing that to happen. All right, let's keep the party going. Here is gold. I'm going to come up to the daily to kind of point some things out. I kind of was like, this could be a head and shoulders, right? And especially the way the action was happening. But you could see we gapped up on contract expiration. And I wonder if we're going to fill this gap. I like to call it contract gaps, right? Because this doesn't really mean that this price is really the price. They're anticipating that by the time of February 2025, price today should be about 26.75. So they're pricing in future pricing. Hence the reason futures, right? Anyways, but you could kind of see what's happening here is that if we take this continuous chart, this nice contract gap up, I think if this start to fill this and come back into 26.34, either throughout the Santa rally or not, we're probably going to go ahead and come for this one. I've been targeting this area here down to 23.86. Of course, we're going to have some trouble around here at 24.58. So we're going to see what happens there. But for something intraday, nice little push up here. I want to see how they react to the 2700 level or 2688, somewhere around that range. If this gives it up, right, we're probably not going to fill that sell side liquidity into the 2700, and that means we will not chase to the 2800. So that means we're probably going to really push, put that back, we're probably going to really push that head and shoulders really, really deep down. I know it's a little janky because this is the angle down here, but this is what it looks like to me. You could argue This could be a very V-shaped type of cup and handle, and it just needs to break out of this side. Either way, this is just a relative channel for the most part, and which side that gives up first is the one that's going to declare where we're going to go with gold. Does it break out the bottom, come back down into this range, and then start to liquidate some of the descent, the golden guys that was real bullish to this upside here? Or does it break out or continue on this channel, find some support until they re-change the angle of the channel? All right, so now silver on the other hand, you can kind of see it is doing something similar. Actually, let me come out to the daily so I can do this right for y'all. Nice gap up, like gold. It's coming to that area of resistance. I think that's why gold kind of pulled back, because that was that level at 3108. I want to see it bounce off that 30,000 one more time, so that means it's going to fill this gap. But if they fill this gap, does that mean they're going to go ahead and test some of these levels here? Now, silver is balanced here. Meanwhile, gold is not balanced over in that last contract expiration. So I think this one is very frothy, and this is probably going to bring some weight if this start to fill these gaps. So for all my bulls, you want that gap to stay and hold. All right, let's go over to British pound. British pound is starting to recover a little bit. We got ourselves a nice little micro trend. Let me go ahead and mark this off. A nice little, come on, give me my trend line. All right, got a nice little micro trend that's going like this, kind of giving a little bit of support, especially how this is curling up. If we go over to the weekly, you could see why this is very feasible and probably going to go ahead and continue to the upside. But again, the market is very toppy on some small time frame. Probably could get another pullback, and especially if we're going to try to get this daily to really start to take off. It does have to get above here so you can start testing some of these fair value gaps, and there is that proverbial downtrend line right here. So we could just wedge until we get there, and we'll see what happens. Natural gas. Natural gas, again, like I said, we are in season, but right now is not probably the best time for you to get in, because this was the run up in here. I do want to see a pullback for the most part. If we take another deviation of this trend line, maybe back to this trend line here, but you can already see that they are starting to break out of this trend line right here. That gave us that, oops, actually, I want to do it here. As we kind of came in through today. So I want to see what they do with this level, if they're going to go ahead and start really liquidating. Of course, contract expiration is what drove this. Nice little gap up, profit taking. Does it recover, or does it come all the way back down to this level and then recover? Because we did leave a little bit of a gap coming from yesterday to today. Here's the Russell. The Russell still looks kind of good. Their contract expiration is coming a little bit later in December, but we're going to see how that holds up. But I think the Russell is where everything is going to be as we continue to worry about more domestic internal creation of jobs and productivity. So I'm going to be very curious on how the market reacts to the Russell. And then the last one is the dollar, the infamous dollar. I found this very interesting. I really think this is an order block. And if you've ever seen how I kind of break down these order blocks, there's so many ways of looking at order blocks, and this is the first time I've ever seen, where we had a bearish red candle and a bearish green candle all at the same time, right side by side. So I think the market is telling us something here. So I will not be surprised that this is going to be the catalyst for the Santa rally, and then they start liquidating the dollar back down here. But here's the question: does it use this backside downward trend right here as a level of support? And this is just a retracement. That is a very strong possibility. If we look at the weekly, we just crossed over the zero line, but it does need a little bit of a pullback, so that way it can get a little bit of a breather, and that could be this move right here. If this fair value gap holds in the weekly, and then the MACD's through the zero line, we're probably going to get one more stab to those higher highs. Green, right? So I think this is the first red candle that they're going to go ahead and retrace, and let's see if they can recapture that one. All right, so we got 5 minutes until the market opens. I'm going to go ahead and break this down for anyone that's new to my channel. I'm a very simple trader. All we do is worry about the opening range breakout, and how that opening range breakout works is very simple. What we're looking for the first 15 minutes to actually show us what the market is trying to do. So we kind of block out and box out that first 15 minutes. The moment that the first 15 minutes is complete, we take a 5-minute close above or 5-minute close below to determine what our bias is for that moment. Okay, now there's a couple of ways that we can actually get in. Sometimes we have to get in a little bit early and not wait for the close, but that's how I kind of do it because I'm a little bit more advanced and know what I'm looking for. But for you, I would love, especially if you're a new trader, to just wait for the 5-minute to close. Wait for a little bit of a retracement because that direction is probably going to be a little overheated. And then as soon as you find a really solid entry, you can go ahead and take that trade. So in that case, let's just assume that this is a 15-minute candle that is completed and we're waiting as well. So we're going to go ahead and drag this up. So I'll be bearish below this level. Let me kind of tweak that a little bit. And then I will be bullish above this level. And all I'm asking is for the 5-minute to kind of have a nice little close above. So let's go ahead and look at yesterday to kind of see how that really worked out, because yesterday was tough. It was really, really tough. There was not a lot of volume and everything else. So let's go ahead and kind of zoom in. So we got our, oops, let me give it the 15-minute. We have our, that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, where are you, Tuesday? There you go. All right, so we had our range set based on this green candle, right? This green candle basically gave us this, and then that's what I kind of pointed out, the bearish divergence was making higher highs with lower lows, but the market just kind of caught it every time it tried to get under the opening range breakout. So kind of give you a sense of what exactly does all that mean, Jeff, right? If we take this 930, right, and how we kind of try to like really break out, this 5-minute was our close above, and we should have took some momentum on that. That was very tricky because it pulled back really, really well at 87 ticks, which was pretty bad, especially if you got in at the close of the candle and was being aggressive. You saw 35 before they went ahead and took 57 away from you. But throughout the day, like we had to close. This was an attempt to close below, that didn't happen. This was an attempt to close below, that didn't happen. But we wait for something like this, a nice little close below, and you could kind of see as soon as that happened, it kind of tweets the bottom and it pushed right back up, kind of put in like a morning star type of pattern. And it did it repeatedly. We got one here. This was an attempt. We got one here. We got one here. But this one kind of drifted down a little bit before it started really recovering. So we're talking about maybe 36 ticks, give or take. And then it just pushed right back up. This one right here was around 2 o'clock. I did take a little bit of a piece here, but by the time all this really messed up my evaluation account. So that link down below, I'll be joining the party with y'all as far as getting a different account after blowing that account. Let's see. And then when the market kind of closed at around 4, they try to push it right back up. And then we had this nice little push overnight, and I think this was the catalyst to kind of drive us right back down. And this is our opening range of yesterday that they're trying to perpetrate. Very interesting. I like what the price action is doing because I haven't seen something like this before, but I think it's all driven by volume. All right, we got 11 seconds until the market opens. So we're going to go ahead and get ourselves ready for that ding, 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 ding. Oh, actually, I will not get no ding because I did not log into my Thinkorswim. Go ahead and set that up. I hope y'all had a great day yesterday. I know it was a little tricky, but if you stuck with it and you stayed with your rules, you shouldn't be too upset. Alright, that's that. Let's get that password in. Alright, perfect. Interesting drop. Very, very interesting drop. Could this be all the pent-up frustration by the bears as they try to continue to make this thing drop? Let me see. Do I have any day trades? Ooh, I got 3 day trades. Let's go. Let's see. My Roku's up 24%. I hedged my Tesla. Actually, let's go ahead and take a peek over at Tesla. Tesla is basically a different variation. Actually, you know what? Let me look at it from the Tesla side first before I do that. So Tesla, we had a nice little pop up, right? We had a great explosion to this upside here, and then we kind of got a little cross to the MACD. I want to see them try to test this area because you could kind of see that there is some profit taking here. Um, so that will make things very, very interesting and allow for more buyers to step in if they want to come and support. Now, Tesla is an income driven. Again, this is not something you want to kind of like hold long term. This can get you into a whole lot of trouble. But if you can properly trade this, um, it looks like this 200 moving average is where everything is kind of sitting. Let me see today. Let's see the weekly. Yeah, I would love for it to get to that $16 before that, but we'll see. We'll see. So I kind of hedged this one because I do think that we are a little toppy, and I could see it coming back down. I will buy more when this comes down. That's what I would love to do. Um, but right now it is kind of tired on the upside, so we'll see if that hedge protects me. Another one is Roku. So with Roku, I was looking for this thing to kind of like really go into a dump cycle. If we look at the 4 hour, it's it's kind of curling up, putting in like bullish divergence. It's not really cute, not really cute at all. Let's see what the daily looks like. So I was looking for it to test this level. Excuse me. I was really hoping for it to test this level and really see if it can get through here, but it's starting to seem like this is starting to become an order block, which could be a little bit of a problem in the position. So I am looking forward to continue to the downside. I don't know if it's going to get to $60, but I would love for it to at least test this area here because there's a bullish fair value gap that's sitting right there. And I think there's an opportunity for us to go ahead and get inside of there. Now, we are coming to a level of support. This thing can pull back, but as long as this trend line is kind of wedgish right here, so I'm going to go ahead and call this a potential downtrend, right? But for that potential downtrend to happen, I need a current downtrend like this one to hold and not break. This is a real downtrend. All right, so that's what I'm kind of looking at. All right, let's go back over to NQ. NQ almost got 5 minutes locked in. So let's go ahead and like box out our 15 minute. So far it looks like we're down to here, and we are bullish if it gets above here. That's what it looks like so far. Ooh, are they going to try to get back down here to this down into the August 5th line? Well, that would be interesting. That would make it a very bearish day if that was the case. Very. We'll see. We will see. Oh, so Tesla, I didn't even realize that I got one of my alerts on the 1 hour. We had a nice little signal roughly around 2. Yeah. So I noticed that with the I didn't even go over. And then the other strategy, hold on, let me come over here. The other strategy that we operate is something that I did, which is a proprietary coding to a setup that I've noticed that the market tends to have, which is called market dominance. And what I'm looking for is potential areas where people are going to take profits, and those areas could be key reversal zones, or it could give you a little bit of small profits. So that way you could be able to lock in something fun, right? But on the 1 hour for Tesla, it tends to show me this, right, where it tells me that this right here was a nice little bearish rejection, especially at that 50 EMA. And it said, hey, guess what? We kind of like really shot down here, right? And we had a nice little engulfing. There could be some profit taken, see if there's any level of support. It suggested that I got in at 340 and 32 cents. I'm over here just struggling with numbers right now. Around this area, and it looks like during the pre-market we kind of did that, and then now we're rejecting the area as we try to fill this fair value gap. But it looks like we did. Did we get there? No, we rejected right off the 50 EMA. So this is going to be very interesting on Tesla to see how this is going to react on that regard. But yeah, that's what happened at 2 o'clock and gave it a nice little run. So at best, based on this parameter, as I say, you wait for support and it got a little bit in the middle there. You probably got like $2 worth of movement, give or take. So very interesting ticker, very interesting ticker. Let's go ahead and get back over to NQ. Let's see what is going on over there. Did it make a low? Yes, it did. It did make a lower low again. Could they be targeting this fair value gap because they did not fill the rest of it? Maybe. Maybe. That is a possibility. And let me go to my other charts. Let me see something. That's what I thought. Yeah, we're breaking down, and I want to see this get to 28.58. 28.58. I'll bring it down to this level here. 858 brings it to the 200 on the 1 hour. That's probably where we're going to head to. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, so market dominance. All I do is on NQ. I love it on the 45-minute. And right now, this one is going to show me something. If this candle kind of closes like this in the next 7 minutes, and you can kind of see, we're starting to shade this. It's anticipated with this whole entire drop down that the next candle or next 45-minute candle could be bullish, or they could be really starting to liquidate some of the bears or take some of their profits because they made a massive move to the downside. I don't care what the reason is, but I'm anticipating that this next candle could give a strong bullish momentum to kind of like for every action, there's an opposite reaction. Let's see how much control the bears have, but we'll find out in like 7 minutes. That said, let's go ahead and look at my list. I have a list of volume things that I've been eyeballing for a week now. Let's see what else I can add to my watch list. I got Deere in there. I got HCA. Workday. I think I played Workday during the pandemic. You know what? You know what? Let's add that. I want paper trade it because I want to say I did play this during the pandemic. That one, ADP and Paychex and Paycom. It was kind of like all in that place, but then I found out that Workday was more of a CRM, not really a payroll company, but that's a whole other conversation. What else I could add in that list? I think that's about it. So right now I've been looking at quite a few tickers. What I've been eyeballing to kind of give y'all a little bit of a sense is I got DE, which is Deere. Let's go ahead and take a peek over at Deere. So Deere, I was looking for this to kind of continue to the upside. I think I was looking at it from the 4 hour. So they had a nice little push up, and this is all-time high. So I feel like there was some people that was going to go ahead and look for an opportunity for them to go ahead and continue to that upside based on the parameters that, hey, I missed out. Now I'm going to go ahead and FOMO. So I'm kind of banking this on a last ditch effort for them to kind of push to the upside. Another one that I'm looking at is Microsoft. Now Microsoft, oops, I'm over here spelling it wrong. Come on, MSFT. There we go. Microsoft, on the other hand, it came back for the gap, and I was wondering when it was going to get that gap, and it was just like really being annoying, and it was driving me completely crazy when it was all said and done. So with the fact that it's filling the gap here, it probably could go ahead and continue all the way back up to that upside and get some more. I'm looking for this order block. What is this order block built on? It's over here at that rejection area. When the last time we tried to break out of this proverbial downtrend that we created over here. So I'm very curious. This one's going to be very fun to kind of see what Microsoft does here. Another one that I'm looking at, let me go ahead and grab that list. Google, Roku, I'm already in. Let's go with KDP, Keurig Dr. Pepper. Now this one I haven't played before, but it keeps on popping up on my radar as far as my screener, and I'm very curious on what's going to happen here. I think there is some more upside as they try to get the rest of this value and go ahead and fill back up into this gap. I think this could get back up into like 800, so that brings it to like 34 bucks. But the reason why I'm just watching is because, yeah, not a lot of price movement. You're talking about maybe $1.25 for a risk of another dollar. I don't know if I really want to play it, but I want to see how it moves. Maybe it could be something I add in the share side. All right, let's go back over to NQ. Let's see how this is rolling. All right, 15 minutes. All right, this looks good at this level. We're probably just going to continue to bounce off of this level. So we're going to see what happens with this chart. Got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds until we solidify this. But if we go back over to the 45 minute, this is what I was saying earlier. It was a massive move down, but it looks like they're already starting to take their profits, or bulls are starting to step in, and it's going to kind of flicker on and off, and try to hold that. But with this long wick being at the bottom, I am thinking that we may push right back through that range. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's just do a quick recap of the other elements out there as far as futures. Wow, what a buy-up. Look at that. At first, they were liquidating all of those bulls that was there, and then they just recovered it, and there's all that buy-side liquidity wiped and recaptured right here as they take all that sell-side liquidity. Very choppy. Be careful with gold. With oil. Gold, on the other hand, looks like they're trying to make a nice little push here. Anticipated a red candle there. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and try to touch this before we actually go ahead and touch any of this value. Keep this 2688 level as a level for potential rejection. All right, so we got ourselves another minute. Let's come over back to NQ. Come over to the 15 minute. And while we wait, I'm going to go check if there's any news coming. I know we had news earlier. Oh, and then that was the other part of yesterday. Because of my crash of my streaming software, it threw me off, and I was looking up news at that time. Did not know that we had major news. So that if you go back to yesterday's video where it kind of shot up, maybe down 100 and then shot right back down, that whole entire thing was in the middle of news. Okay, we got Chicago PMI, and then we got PCE, personal spending. We got some very key news coming in the next 15 minutes. So just be smart with your entries as we start to look for that opening range breakout. Actually, go ahead and get that chart. That's what I'm looking for. All right, 5 seconds. All right, we are established. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the 5 minute. There goes my market dominance. Let me know that it's possible. We could go ahead and get a nice little retracement here. I'm going to see if I can find a nice little small position. I am considering. Oh, I'm not even signed in here. Probably going to get a push to the upside. I'm looking for it to break above 884 or break below 874. Hit my stop loss because I was looking for a short there. Let's see if I can minimize my losses if it gives me a little bit of a pullback to get out of there. All right, I'm I'm gonna take that out. Oh, no, could have been a pullback. All right, so a little bit. I lost about $100 on that one, and I think they are going to try to continue this to the upside. So we're gonna go ahead and hold that area. Let's see if we can get a nice little stab to that. All right, I'm looking for it to break out of 895-ish. So we can get a nice little push move. See if we can hold that down. That should go ahead and clear up this fair value gap if they're really going to go ahead and make that move. It's having a tough time. Oh, can we get there? All right, I think I'm going to hold my position the way it is. All right, there we go. And they just liquidated the bears. Ah, damn it. I was trying to put my stop loss into profit. So I end up with about $60, but I played earlier this morning. So I'm actually down 300. Oh, they're trying to get back through it again? Oh, I think they're going to get that fair value gap. I think they're going to try to get this whole thing. No. Looked like it. All right, I gave it 2 shots. Whenever it's inside of range, I don't like it, but you could kind of see that market dominance. If I actually got at the top of it, it gave me like $250 on that contract, but it literally shut down as quickly as possible because it's just a choppy. We were in the middle of the opening, and there's major news that's coming up. Only 2 shots. That's all we're going to give you. Still looks like they want to get that fair value gap. If this thing breaks back under 874, I may just short it because I think they're maybe accumulating to make it dump. Just based on the circumstances that I'm seeing. Kind of like they're buying here, they're selling here, they're selling here, and they're looking to take out that. You see that? You see how did we drop down so fast? That should scare some bears out. So I'm looking for that 874. See if we can get under there. All right, new 5-minute candle. So kind of give y'all a sense of what I'm talking about. You do it on paper trade. If y'all don't know, I'm more of a dip a toe and just gradually build my position. That's how I prefer it that way. I don't do the whole full Monty and then have a stop loss super tight. I like to build my positions. Buying to strength. Very, very rarely average down. If you're down, then that means you might be wrong. So why average down? That's how I think. I used to do that a lot because, you know, oh, it's cheaper. Yay, you know. But that's poor man's mentality. I don't play with poor man's mentality. So I'm going to take a small here because I'm looking for it to kind of like, it took out that wick. can we go ahead and take out some more? If it gets below this level, I may consider getting some more. But you could kind of see it's trying to be very choppy. I think this thing's gonna fall. Or they're gonna catch a lot of bears sleeping. There we go. Boom. Taking another one there. I'm looking forward to fill that whole entire wick. Now, if I was going to put a stop loss, which I'm not going to put one yet, I would put it right at that structure. Is that the news? No, not yet. The news didn't come out yet. That was interesting. Nice little buy up. I'm going to take the break even though. Yep, I'm going to take the break even. So this is why I went to paper, because I knew it was going to do something very silly. You see how it just kind of like shot up? Kind of similar to what I did in my trade yesterday. I think there's some buyers that's sitting lingering right here. They're accumulating their position. If this thing gets back above 72, it's going to really attack that 74. If it doesn't and it starts to fail, I may start to build my position again, starting with that 1 again. So that last trade, I lost 30 bucks. It's all right. It's okay. Ooh, there we go. Give me a nice little pullback for that. Give me a nice pullback. All right. Let's see if I can get. I'm gonna take this short. 1. We just made a lower low. Almost like flirting with saying that the bears are in control. I'm looking forward to get past the level of right about here. And I was going to call out the level. Oh, yes, there we go. And that is our break here. Now, they could buy up this whole entire dip. So I'm going to, I was going to say I'm going to take 25. And this is what I was afraid of. Again, still choppy because there's just very low volume. So all it takes is a few 100,000 of purchasing that can go ahead and push the market back the other way. All right. Possible fill. It just filled it. I think they're trying to do the dance that they did yesterday, where we stayed inside of a range. I'm gonna take this upside right here. I'm assuming. See if we can catch that. The pullback. Come on. I broke support. I broke a lot of support. That's why you try that type of stuff in paper. So I had 115. I was willing to risk that and then some to see if we're gonna get a bounce here. But we're gonna get that 5-minute close here. All right. So it's not doing yesterday's action. So that's 1. Let me get myself ready for a sell. It's too close to the news, which is making me a little apprehensive on taking in my real account. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with paper for now, just to kind of see how this one goes. I was really looking for kind of like a tweezer bottom type of, not tweezer, a double bottom type of action here. But you can see they liquidated all the bulls that was standing there. All right, possible sell around here. I'm looking forward to stay under that 850 level. There we go. Taking 1. This is to assume that the opening range breakout is going to play out as such. I'm going to go ahead and because it's paper, to kind of show y'all what news can do, and that's why it's very important that you keep an eye on news in the event of. But I'm gonna hold this for the opening range breakout to the downside and see if we can hold on to this for another 5 minutes or so. 5 minutes trying to put in a fair value gap using that area. If we don't reject here, this thing could try to recapture that whole fair value gap. Yeah, you see, no volume coming in. All right, I am going to stop this out about 40 to 50 ticks. That'll be about 200 bucks, 250 bucks. All right, so lost 250, 280. Keeping my losses small because I will add a major amount of contracts if this was going my way. We'll see. Maybe it doesn't give me any positive trades, but I'd rather take that in my paper, knowing that this news can be such a double-edged sword. All right, we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's see my red list. Who's winning in my red list? UNH. Check that out. UPS kind of does well for the holidays, so they're probably starting to run right now. Oh, cybersecurity getting beat up. Oh, did Costco get to the 1,000? I don't know. I haven't looked at Costco in a while. AMAT has been beating me up. I still have my spread over there. Just waiting for it to just expire worthless at this point because it is getting beat up. All right, let's get back over to NQ. Oh, actually, and then pizza. Pizza's doing some funky stuff over there. Very funky. Not a fan of what it's been doing. No, it did. It wicked right through. Okay. Maybe we could put some pressure on that down because we already broke this downward trend line. I'm going to see what happens with that one. All right. That is what NQ can do. Mess with open range breakouts. They're still trying to fill that whole fair value gap. All right, we got 52 seconds. It still looks like a short situation, but there is no reason for you to take a trade or open in a trade right now. If you were up here, then that's a different conversation. But opening a trade right now, right before news, you're asking for trouble. And I got a whole lot of trouble yesterday, messing around, not knowing. I was out of routine. I should have had just pulled back a little bit and figured out everything. But I don't know. I'll probably need a new streaming service since this thing wanted to act silly. All right, here we go. Okay. Kind of muted, but it did some liquidation on the way up. All right. I think we made short. Or not. All right, I want to see it break below 849. That way we can see if that 850 level just gives it all up. But I do feel like we're going to get a bearish open range breakout. Taking a small position. we can get under this wick, I'll probably add on. I'm looking for this to hold. Come on. Hold on, open range. Come on. Hold on. Hold on, baby. A little bit more liquidation happening here. Let me come up to a higher time frame, 45-minute. Look like we kind of came into a little bit of a space there. Come on, hold on. So I'm sitting at like, well, they just gave me 450, 500. That's the rest of my value. All right, so let's see. I probably risk 300. Oh, damn, they pulled back hard. They got right to 290. So that cleaned up a little bit of my other mess. Why is it? I'm telling you, it has not been easy for the opening range lately. Not even close. They have been chopping this thing all the way up. Again, oh man, not all strategies are 100%. What you want to do is take your greens where your greens present themselves. That's what you want to do. All right, so look at that. You see? So what I saw on the 45-minute was we had a nice little space right here, right? And when I saw that space, I was like, okay, cool. You know, we're probably going to come back inside of here, but it looks like we couldn't hold inside of there. So we could come all the way back up here just to kind of reload the boat, right? So I'm going to see if we can find another reversal here with a little bit of a tight stop. We rejected from here before, 854. Let's see if that actually holds up. I got a stop loss at 854. Yeah, 2 shots. That's all. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, for the most part, the way this market is moving, it's almost like we wanted to get that downside. I do have my 45-minute alert. This thing is supposed to be relatively a green candle. And we came to a level that could be an objective, which was down here at this 824. And they could just toy with this the whole entire time. We got 25 minutes on this, and then let's go back to the 5 minutes so I can point out. So break and close below. This was the pullback. We caught the momentum going through, right? Technically, how we do the setup, we do not want to get back inside of the range itself. But you can kind of see that momentum was just a little strong, and I wanted to kind of see what the market was going to do with it. But if this 5-minute fair value gap can hold, that means we'll have 2 5-minute fair value gaps there, and we could be looking for a level, maybe even come down to 27.56. But we'll see. All right, so we closed under it again. If we can recapture this wick, which means we would have to fill this area, I'm looking for it to break under the 849 again before I do so and give another shot. It's making some of my time frames chart to look like they want to be bullish, so I'm not happy about that. And every time it comes down, they're not leaving sell side liquidity alone. So I'm gonna take that first tiny shot. Okay, that's fine. That would be the rejection area, but I think it just came to kind of sweep. All right, let's get the true dump here. All right, come on. If we could get a recapture of the wick here, boom. let that wick get recaptured. That's not a good sign. Alright, it's getting close to my stop loss. Might have to stop it out. I'm now down like 250. It's coming down again. Yeah, not a good sign. Oh, got like one tick away from my stop loss. Yeah, got a level at 836 I want. We gotta break this. Whatever support that keeps on buying up dips here. There we go. Come on. Come on. Recapture the wick. So close to recapturing the wick. I gotta call it a day. They just hit my stop. Ah, and they're going even further. Woof. They want that 5-minute fair value gap so bad. Alright, that was a nice little ding they hit me with. Very choppy Thanksgiving. Very choppy. I'm still bearish because of the opening range area. I'm probably going to give it one more shot. Under 848. 20 with that 848 level. $8.36. Come on, baby. All right, let's go bye-bye. All right, I need to get under this wick, then I'll probably go ahead and add. There we go. Oh, jeez. Oh, these wicks. Oh my God, these wicks. I had 1K on that drop, and then they just pushes it right back up. It's not holding nothing. Oh my God, this is just so annoying. Just so annoying. Like we did it like we did it perfectly, right? 8 ah Woosah. Let it go. Just let it go. So the 848 level was exactly what I was looking for, and it kind of toyed with it a little bit, and because of my scalability, right? I when I get the full position, which was 4 contracts at the time, I need one more, jab down. Then I can put my stop loss under in profit. They was like, nah, we ain't gonna let you have that. That's what they basically said on that move. Um, could it go back and get it again? Maybe. Could it be that they're doing this dance knowing that these areas are the areas that they're looking for on selling off to continue to the downside, especially that we just made lower lows? Maybe. Um, ah, I was going to get a small position in the event I'm wrong, but it's too close to creating maybe a potential double bottom. I'm going to have to wait for a breakout from what was that ridiculous buy up and take the shot there. And I know it's probably choppy because you saw how I kind of showed y'all that 45-minute, right? I think that's the reason why we're doing this little dance here. Here's the 45-minute. And so I'm in a very small position. I'm just going to hold on to that one. But to be honest, I won't be able to add another until we get to here. I really wanted to hold that position. But that pullback was just way too deep and it could have went completely negative on me. So last thing you want to do is just give out free money. So I'd rather just break even before all hell breaks loose. And let's see if we can get a dump cycle here and come through this whole entire candle. Let me come up to the 2 hour. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe they come into the 200. 800. Let's see if we can get to 2800 before we have to shut this down. I normally shut this down around 10:15. That way I can let y'all go ahead and get into y'all trades and or handle your family stuff because I'll handle family stuff around that time too. Come on, get that buy side liquidity. So basically, we put it in a 2 hour fair value gap, which they would love to retest and not let happen. So I'm wondering if all the bears are going to step in here or not. And some people argue with me. They were like, "Well, Jeff, you probably came back for all of that because you didn't have a target." Uh, I don't operate a target. I operate mostly on a mental stop loss, but I have a vision and where I want to stop myself out. Um, that's how I practice. That's how I play. Um, and then I slide my stop loss into the area till you remove the emotions. But I want to get my target first, and in that case, I wanted to get north of $700 before I could sneeze. That thing pulled back. I need one more punch here, which I think we're going to get that as the 5 minute MACD is under the zero line, and I think they're going to hold this down a little bit. I'm at like $200 right now, but I'm trying to hold on to this until we get to the 801 level. If we could blast through it, it'll be great. All right, so I got like $300 now, so I'm gonna lock in 200 to 250, somewhere around there. All right, give me 1 second. Sorry, the little ones over here having an argument. I'm over here concentrating on my trade. Come on, baby. 200 to 250 stop loss. Do not come near it, baby. Come on, baby. Let's get into this wick. If we can recapture this wick and go test this downward trend line, upward trend line, that would be great. Let me go to my Thinkorswim. Yeah, my hedge is now starting to pick up, and my Roku's starting to pick up as well. Come on, let's do the damn thing. I got like $500 right now, but like I said, I was down 1,000, had 1,000. They took the 1,000. Gotta love the market. So right now I'm operating with a stop loss around $250 in profit. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's not do that. They hit my 250. Which I had a feeling that could happen, right? Because we are literally on this wick, and this 200 EMA could be a low bounce area. And I had a feeling that was possible. But it is what it is. So, looks like we did a couple of successful ones. Probably could have just pulled back a little bit on some others. Um, but decent trade for the most part. I want to say probably 3 for 5. I'm only red because I had up my leverage for that first drop. And I wish they didn't stop me out. Let me see what that. Yeah, if they didn't stop me out, oh my God, that would have printed like about 2,000, give or take. But can't cry over spilled takes. On that note, I'm gonna go ahead and leave y'all for the rest of the day. If you haven't got yourself a funded account, by all means, Elite has their sale. It's going to expire on the 30th. All right, don't say I didn't warn you. Also, don't forget to get your TradingView. TradingView 70% off. And if you want to go ahead and get in contact with me, I have everything down below. That's it. Y'all have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see y'all all the way on Tuesday. And don't forget, Saturday Mindset. We'll be there. All right? Have a great day.